What is up, YouTube? A9 here, and welcome back to something a bit different. For those of you who don't know, I'm a bit crazy and I play PC games with a controller, and not only that, it's a Steam controller. And I basically ran into a small problem with Space Engineers. I kind of ran out of buttons. So, I could have solved this by playing with SE's default controller layout, which sucks because, it's designed for an Xbox controller. I could have just used a bunch of mode shifts, which I did, but I wasn't really enjoying it. It was just way too overly complicated. So I decided to do something a bit crazy and a bit more complicated. I stuck a phone to my controller. You can find the teaser video for the version 1 prototype linked down below. And yeah, it works really well. It still works really well. It's currently what I'm still using. But I decided to design something a bit less prototypey, and I figured people might be interested in the design process for that. So yeah, this is what I've designed. I've left out me actually designing it because it was mainly just me fighting with SolidWorks because for whatever reason SolidWorks hates my computer. But anyways, it just basically started with me cutting out a slot for the phone, which, the measurements for that came from the phone itself, other than the depth, which was an educated guess from my version 1 prototype. And yeah, so next up I just added some screw ports. All of those measurements were an educated guess, other than, based off of I needed it to fit a M2 screw. So... and it's in a spot where I'm pretty sure it won't interfere with anyone's hands. And then the bracket that actually holds on the phone, again, it's all educated guesses based off of just knowledge and obviously the measurements from the phone. And I've included a little spot to hold the USB. So yeah, that's about it. Next step is for me to do some test prints. To test basically whether or not my educated guesses were right. And since printing the entire thing would be a waste of time and plastic, I'm going to be cutting up this CAD model into smaller parts just to test the fits and print quality. So yeah, let's put on some tunes and get to that. Alright, so the print is done and it came out fine. I'm gonna pull off the board and I'm gonna get it cleaned up, but everything looks like it printed. Oh, I should really hold it in front of the camera. Everything looks like it printed fine. So yeah, kind of worried about the screw ports, but they seem to be printed just fine. So yeah, I'm gonna get it cleaned up and then we're gonna do some test fitting. Alright, so I'm got all the supports off. I'm not gonna bother sanding it because obviously this is just a test print to make sure the screw holes line up and also that the phone will sit at the right height, which I'm actually surprised how well the print came out, to be honest. My plan was to pay for a resin print of the controller, but I mean, that's not bad. With some sanding, it would work. Me printing my entire controller like this, assuming I don't know how the screw holes are going to hold up, but that's going to be part of the next test. But yeah, so next up, I gotta take apart Bob here. Yeah. So by the way, this is the V1. As you can tell, it's a very rough setup. Very much a just hack and screw and hope everything worked together type of build. And it served me well so far. But yeah, so this is what I'm kind of worried about right here. That little rise of, that's the entire trackpad assembly right there. So that's what the test height is for, to make sure that I'm tall enough that I don't hit that. Because there are no measurements online for that part, and I did my best to eyeball measure it with my calipers that are out of batteries. So yeah, I think I'm high enough, but we're gonna find out. So yeah, I'm gonna take this thing apart and we'll screw it all back together again with the new parts on it. Alright, so I've taken apart the controller, and yeah, I'd say I got the height right. So yeah, let me continue taking apart the controller and try and put it back together again with just these installed. So I'm gonna do that, and that way we can test out this guy and just make sure that it's in the right spot. I don't have the proper screws for it, but we can at least see to make sure that it'll fit in the right spot. This guy already doesn't fit, and I figured it wouldn't fit the moment I started printing, because I was a dummy and I didn't look at the height of this one when I made the model. For some reason, I just decided to take measurements off of the iPhone, even though I know that eyeballing it won't work because it needs to be a lot more exact than that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reprint this probably at that one's height, and then yeah, so at least we can test everything else. All right, so we hit our first problem. Screw post broke. My hand's in the way. That one right there. So yeah, this is why I kind of wanted to get it resin printed, because I knew that was a possibility when 3D printing. I mean, there is enough room that I could make those screw ports bigger, which I might do. And it wouldn't be too hard either, so yeah. But I'm going to continue at least putting the one side together if I can't do both. So this one's on, no problem. So I'll just continue. It probably won't be totally screwed together, but it'll be good enough that I'll be able to test the fit of the bar still. Alright, so yeah, I got it together. This side's a little loose, but this side is nice. Feels just following all the button pushes. I should probably have it in frame. Sorry about that. I'm not used to holding the camera. They work just fine. And then the iPhone. Alright, so it fits. It's a little bit snug, which is good because that's how I want it to be. Hold on, let me see. There's an iPhone charger around here somewhere. Charging cord fits perfectly. Obviously, you can't use it while it is charging. Yeah, so let me flip it around and we can see if the bar fits. Alright, so the bar would go in something like that. And it looks like it fits. It's a little bit off. But, I mean, there should be enough play with the hole sizes that shouldn't matter too much. Alright, so yeah, sorry about the camera work and audio. I'm gonna probably find myself a tripod next time I do this to hold the phone. And yeah, audio, I mean, I could probably just record it with my actual mic because it's sitting right next to the table I used to record it. So I'll hopefully have that sorted out for next time. But anyways, this is a bit of a sneak peek for the upgrades I've done to the controller since the last time, but that'll be for the next episode. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. It'll be out at some point. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, even though this wasn't gaming content. And yeah, who knows, I might do some more of this in the future with other projects besides this one. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.